Oh, hell no. Nope. 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 Nope.
He used me for views. I had the worst time. I hated Origami Camp. It was the worst time of my life. What is this?
No, man. No, I'm starting the video right now. Because I'm not going to let Ruby and Tariq and any of these sluts from Origami Camp lie on my name.
What is happening? All I know is this is the girl that defended like Digital Princess, and I was just like, so people are like, you gotta cover this. I was like, I don't care. This person's just a little goofy.
So let's talk about it, TikTok. Let's talk about good old your favorite. Let's talk about Hawk. Every black woman on here was right. Every Hispanic woman on here was right. She don't care about black folks.
Who the fuck are we talking about? Who is she talking about?
I'm done with you, Hawk. I'm done with you. Goth, baby. Luna, baby. Ruby, Tariq. All you two-faced pieces of shit who are at that motherfucker. Oh, now I'm a predator. Now I violated you. No, tell the truth. You violated me. You violated my blackness when you invited me to a sundown town where they killed and lynched black people. You violated my niceness when I was trying to be nice and welcoming, and all you did was look me up and down. You did not give me a chance. How did I violate you, Ruby, when we did a scene together before anybody got there? Huh? Huh? Huh?
Is there more to
How
this?
did I violate you, Tariq, when you kept asking me to take pictures of your ass? Huh? Huh?
What is happening?
How did I violate any of you hoes?
Sounds like a goose. I feel like I got thrown into a fucking whirlwind with this.
You can never be in the business. All the set directors, all the producers, all the people that be on that bitch. You could never do what I did this week. You could never do.
Who the fuck is Hawks? Go to her Twitter. Who the fuck is Hawks? What's their Twitter? What is happening here? This is insane.
It. Cause you're all pussy. Oh, I was violent, were you? Or are you just pulling it out of your ass because I have the actual facts to back up where we were? You're liars. You're fakes. But especially you, Hawk. You create drama after drama after drama, and then you sit back and you act so above it all. I just want to make money and take care of my kid. I just want to make money. Liar! You're a liar! You want to use as many black people as you can to make yourself look good. You didn't give a shit about Tay and Nana.
I don't know what the fuck those people are.
You used them to look good because everybody.
This account doesn't exist, so they can't find the account.
You said you didn't work with black folks, and then they popped up, but they're not even black enough. And fuck you, Nana, for saying, are you the only black one there at the recent collab I was at because they treated me better than you bitches ever could? Fuck any of you who agree with them, because I was violated, not them.
That's what was happening.
I hate you all.
We're back. How cool was that? Okay, so let me tell you something. When that happened yesterday, I have no idea what the fuck happened. But today, while I'm at work, my fiance calls me. You know, we like to talk to each other. And she goes, did you hear about all this crazy shit going on with fucking Hawks and this, that? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I remembered, I was like, oh, I remember that crazy girl was going ballistic. And she gave me a little rundown. Now, I'm not 100% educated on exactly what happened. But that person got upset because apparently, a bunch of different OnlyFans creators got together to do collaborations. And my understanding, this is what Mama Gutta told me, is that apparently, you sent me a link to her TikTok? Okay, maybe there's something on there. That girl was kind of butting in and trying to do a bunch of, she was like doing too many collaborations with people. Like she was kind of inserting herself into situations. I don't think she talked about anything on here. But that girl was trying to, the black girl was trying to do too many collaborations and things kind of went ballistic. And I think this is her talking about the situation here. Let's see. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else. It doesn't seem like there's much else. Yeah. Now, this person had blocked me on my main. Now, I'm going to assume it's because I had a pretty shitty period on my TikTok back in the day, so I don't blame them. I think you read... I was about to say, I think you read Twitter's this way down. But looking at the dates, looks like I'm already instantly wrong. So we'll start from the bottom. Here, we start from here, go down, and then we go here and there, I think. I don't know. Let's see what they have to say. The most important thing that I have to say is that the place the Origami Camp was filmed, Tay and I had zero idea about it being a sundown town. So apparently none, like that other person's name is like Tyler, Auntie Taylor. Basically what a sundown town is, for people who don't know, is a town, it's a white town that excludes black people from things, but not officially. You know what I mean? Like unofficially kind of a thing. You know, they sneak around the law and they just don't include black people in things, and they basically try to bully them out of those towns. Mostly, I think, with them trying to live there. So, now, I don't know exactly where they did the Origami Camp. I don't know if they would have necessarily been impacted. Oh, there's a whole article on this. Large group of TikTokers and OnlyFans creators got together for a weekend to produce content together. The content they post on TikTok is mostly of them hanging out behind the scenes, but they aim to do an Aussie for worth content for the OnlyFans as well. I don't want to hear that. You thought you were with an Airbnb, a nice circle of something called Origami Camp, and then what happened? I guess we don't really know. Then apparently there's a bunch of... Oh my god, why can't this just be on TikTok? Holy Jesus. Great. I'm trying to see what's going on here. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see. We can get rid of that. Is there something here that I'm missing? There's just a bunch of girls here. And then... And there's some dude. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going. It was made up of a group of TikTokers, sex workers who all had met their Airbnb. Okay, the creators of okay, blah 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 blah. And elders so essentially confirmed that they were getting when they retweeted in their okay. Let's see. Ad hoc says you really organized an orgy so big and awesome that it briefly broke the internet. I've been seeing Origami Camp TikToks all weekend. Have yet to see them fold a single piece of paper. I'm starting to think something else is going on here. It's all over my FYP. I know that's such a section, but I'm jealous. The Origami Camp is getting me so excited. Blah 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 blah. Epic crossover. FYP. Can we just see the idea of Origami Camp? Okay, who cares? That's it. Okay, so then this is a big fucking fart. Thanks for shitting on my fart. All right. Anyway, let's read it. The most important thing I have to say is the Origami Camp was filmed at Tay902. Okay, it's a sundown town. We looked for so long, and the only hate crime that would come up for it was a 50-year-old gay man being assaulted. I'm kind of doubting that they looked into how many gay people were assaulted or how many hate crimes they had. They were probably just looking for a nice area. I don't know exactly where it was. I assume that they're not going to say anything. Tay sent me a threatening voicemail saying that if I didn't get people talking shit on them in line, they would break the NDA and talk about the location of Origami Camp, as if me not knowing until they told me was something to be held over my head. I could not control people. What are they talking about? If I didn't get people talking shit on them in line? What? I could not control people not wanting to work. Okay, so apparently nobody wanted to work with Tay. And for that, they said my legal name, knowing how much I care about keeping my identity safe and the safety of my kid. I care nothing about accountability for any part of the... Okay. I care about taking accountability for any part of Origami Camp, but want nothing to do with them. So apparently, okay, this seems to be... I think I'm understanding what's happening. Nobody wanted to collab with that one girl, and so she got really pissed and basically told everybody or this Hawks' real name. Also, this is not me invalidating or arguing about the town, because I do know a lot of bad things that happen aren't on paper. What I'm saying is that I did not know how I could find any other ways of knowing besides the people that knew were telling me. Just because something might not be findable later doesn't mean you should take it even easier over 1 million to bring attention to it, especially knowing. Okay, so yeah, basically that's it. That seems to be what it is. So basically that girl nobody wanted to fucking collab with them, and so they threatened people in some capacity. And then I guess they looked into it. It turned out it was a sundown town. It could have been historic. We don't know where it is. So it could have been historically a sundown town. It could have been a sundown town now. You can't exactly, I don't know if you can necessarily Google where sundown towns are. I wouldn't expect them to really be educated on something like that. But it boils down to, it seems like nobody knew that until nobody wanted to work with Auntie Tyler, I don't know. And then she got really pissed. It's probably, they go by they, them. Okay, sorry. Dude, it's so confusing. Anyway, yeah, there was a big camp called Origami Camp, where a bunch of sex workers and OnlyFans people and TikTokers got together to like have a big orgy and fuck. Now, it seems that nobody wanted to work with Auntie Taylor, whatever. I don't know how to say their name. So they got really pissed, and they basically blew up on the internet saying it was a sundown town. It seems like they were trying to use the, you know, they're honestly trying to weaponize the, I guess, you know, racism to get those other people in trouble. But it seems like the fact that it was a sundown town had no relevance, I guess, the way they were treated. Again, we don't know where it was. We don't know a lot of what's going on. But then there's counter arguments from people. I don't know if Hawks is one of them, but other people saying that girl, Auntie Taylor, she was trying to, like, she was like some kind of a predator, or she was assaulting. Now, I don't know the specifics of how she acted. Her pressuring people into trying to have sex with her is obviously horrible, and it's disgusting, and a pattern of it can be very inappropriate. Well, that would be predatory. I don't know how big the pattern was. It seems like they were upset nobody wanted to sleep with them. That's not an excuse to be overly aggressive, right? Like men, that happens with men too. You can't have double standards when it comes to this. However, that when it comes to like sex work, we're involving something that's usually very intimate with a job. So it gets a little bit different. I don't know the specifics. Like, obviously you can't, it doesn't make it okay for you to harass somebody, but there is a level of it being a business decision from in some context. So again, we don't know the specifics of how they were doing it. You know, just take the L though. If nobody wants to fuck you, you know, maybe shower. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not, you should shower. It's good. But so apparently they kept watching people even though people said they were uncomfortable. Okay, you know, that makes sense. They wouldn't leave the room. Yeah, you know, it's so difficult to find the specific boundaries on how these things work when it comes to like these sexual contexts, because it's different from like a normal sexual situation. But apparently they kept looking, and when they were doing it, I don't know, how does that work? Were they just chilling in the same room staring at them? It's just such a, that's one of the things where it's like, I wouldn't get involved with like sex work if I didn't have to. You know, I would just recommend not inviting that person anymore. Obviously what they did sounds like it was pretty shitty, but this whole situation seems pretty shitty. So again, big sex worker convention at an Airbnb. Nobody wanted to fuck with this one girl. She kept staring at them creepily. They got upset, and then she claimed it was a sundown town. And she doxed Hawk because she was upset. And now she's private on TikTok. There's your story. It's pretty shitty, though. That person's basically excommunicated themselves from that little group. So, yeah, victim complex, you know? Like, obviously, race can be a factor, but it doesn't sound like race was a factor in this situation. It sounds like because she didn't get what she wanted, she was socially shaming a bunch of people by saying, hey, I'm black and I'm the victim. And of course, there's massive conversations to be had about systemic racism in some downtowns and all these other things. But you can't just decide to use that as a weapon when nobody wants to sleep with you, because at the end of the day, trying to force people to sleep with you is very scummy and predatory. Shaming people into sleeping with you is disgusting. It is, I would say, I don't know if I'd call it, it's within the realm of sexual assault. Yeah, honestly. It's within the realm of sexual assault or sexual harassment. You know, I guarantee you, if it was a male, and I know that they identify as they, but you know, let's be honest here. You know, they're very female presenting. So if that person was very male presenting or masculine presenting, you know, that it would be a much different situation.
Hey, beautiful.
What the fuck is this?
Beautiful people, this is Auntie Tyler Thanos. There's been a situation surrounding them recently, so let's talk about it. Solely for educational purposes, no hate to anyone involved. I ask questions to bring awareness. So what is your favorite Disney character? So
what? Okay.
if you don't know who Auntie Tyler is, they are a creator on TikTok. They create informative content as well as comedy content, and they
Okay.
are also an SW. I mention this, by the way, because it is a key/important part of this situation. So recently, Auntie Tyler made a comment about the Pokey Princess situation that was pretty unpopular. If you don't know what the Pokey Princess situation is, I recommend watching my videos on it because it's longer than like a 5-second recap.
Yeah, like apparently she supported Pokey Princess or Digital Princess. She was like, oh, I don't know. She said something along the lines of like sometimes single moms have to leave the house for their kids, which is fine and it is true, but Digital Princess is rich. Their mom's across the street and they left their 4-year-old home alone at night. So it was just kind of a bad take. It was just not, it was just, you know, it was too generalized. And then they backtracked and they were like, I wasn't actually supporting them. I was just saying, I don't really care. But it's like, okay, shut the fuck up.
But the comments that they made about Pokey Princess was basically, Pokey Princess was a mom who made a mistake, left the child there for 2 to 3 minutes.
And then mocked, they left the child there for over an hour. And they mocked everybody for being concerned about their kid.
We all make mistakes. When in reality, the Pokey Princess situation is much more serious than this. She left a child behind long enough for that child to escape the house and sit in the front yard, and the neighbors called the police, and the mom had not been back in time. So it's not just a simple mistake as... Hey, beautiful people, this is Auntie Tyler Thanos.
Wait, what the fuck? That's not what we're I thought we were looking for the new situation. Oh, there's 4.
Hey, beautiful people, this is Auntie Tyler Thanos.
Oh, this is one of fucking like 5. Okay.
This is part 2 of the Auntie Tyler situation. The solely for educational purposes, no hate involved. I ask questions, bring awareness. What is your favorite Nickelodeon character?
Shut up.
Because Auntie Tyler made this comment about the Pokey Princess situation, people were talking about Auntie Tyler, and as a result, people started talking about Origami Camp. If you don't know what Origami Camp, and you're not over the age of 18, please kick off. But basically, Origami Camp was a thing started by a bunch of SWs here on Clock App for a collaboration for a weekend. It was widely talked about all over social media, and as a result, as claimed by one of the other creators that went to this, Auntie Tyler sort of self-invited themselves. They stated that they wanted to go, that they really wanted to be there.
You know, I think it's important to understand that this camp happened, I think, a month ago. So this is a month old.
And so they got invited. They were also originally supposed to only be in certain scenes and doing a lot of the filming and editing. And this is where allegedly things went very wrong. Consent is an important conversation, and yes means yes, no means no. Apparently, Auntie Tyler broke this. Auntie Tyler was not invited to certain things, however, they pushed themselves into these situations and made people uncomfortable. This is part 2.
Uncomfortable.
This is part 3 of talking about...
I wish they would just talk about the fucking situation instead of part 2 and part 3 and part 4. Okay, so far, here's what we got. We got Auntie Tyler had a bad take on Digital Princess. I don't really care. It's irrelevant to this. Well, actually, it is very relevant. She had a bad take on it, so people got upset with her and brought up Origami Camp that happened a month ago, which is kind of an issue. Because it shows that, like, okay, so I'm not saying she wasn't uncomfortable, but it's interesting that they deserved to throw it up there. It's interesting that they decided to throw it up there now that everything is already over with. You know what I'm saying? It's like, now, oh, we didn't like your take on Digital Princess, so now we're going to play this fucking game. Okay, so she was supposed to go there, film a few scenes, whatever. She kind of was uncomfortable in some ways, but let's keep going.
About Auntie Tyler, this is solely for educational purposes, no hate anyone involved. What are you being for Halloween? I ask questions, bring awareness. So now multiple members of this camp have been stating that they have felt as though they were SA'd by Auntie Tyler. There's even claims that they stared through a window when people were doing stuff, when they were told they couldn't be in the room. So the picture I have behind me, it'll be over on
Yeah, it's definitely wrong. I don't know if I'd call it sexual assault. I don't know what I would call that. I've never explored what it would be like to watch somebody without them knowing. It's definitely a violation. I just don't know what it is.
Internet Girls Pod, I can't show this thing on Clock App. But basically, someone was talking about how they can't attack Auntie Tyler because they've stood up for other people who have gone through SA. And then Auntie Tyler kind of clipped onto this and stated, imagine feeling as though you are SA'd when you've given consent to the whole weekend. Something along those lines. People can withdraw consent whenever they want. And just because they consented to certain parts during the weekend doesn't mean they consent to everything. So people were talking about Auntie Tyler and the situation as a whole. And as a result, Auntie Tyler filmed a few videos for Clock App. And this is part 3 of talking. This is part 4 of talking about Auntie Tyler, solely for educational purposes, no hate to anyone involved. I ask questions, bring awareness, what's your favorite color? So, Auntie Tyler filmed these videos, and in these videos, they claimed that the location where this was filmed was a sundown town. There's a lot of history with sundown towns, but let me give you a brief definition. They are basically all white towns that drove out their minorities / POC population, mostly black people and African Americans. So they claimed that the location where they filmed this was a sundown town, meaning it was unsafe for them, and then they stated that they hated everyone at Origami Camp and they felt uncomfortable. And then they also, when asked about other creators who were also in Origami Camp that were also black or POC, they claimed that one of them was not black enough, and then the other one was just like a token. During this angry video on Clock app, they also released one of the creators' full legal name, and they've kept their name off of the internet because of past situations, and made it easier for a ton of people to know this person. This is part 4 of talking about Auntie Tyler's.
Do we refer to TikTok as Clock app? Like, what the fuck is? What are these? Why do these people?
This is part 5 of talking about Auntie Tyler. Solely for educational purposes. No hate to anyone involved. I ask questions to bring awareness. Do you rather wear silver or gold? Then Hawk hates.
Ask questions to bring awareness. They're asking questions so that you'll fucking boost the algorithm. It's just annoying because this could have been fewer videos.
You made a statement about the situation, basically stating they did research on this town and looked into it being safe. Could not find anything.
It's a phrase being used by the youth, okay.
Racially motivated at the time, so they assumed it was an okay town. And then this is one of the statements, but basically Auntie Ty also sent a threatening message to them stating that if they didn't get people to stop talking about Auntie Tyler on TikTok, that they would break the NDA and disclose the location of camp. If you didn't know, Hawk Hates You keeps everything pretty private about their personal life for the safety of themselves and for the safety of their child. Also, the Goth Baby went online and stated that they searched online and literally cannot find anything about this being a sundown town. Also, another statement made by one of the other creators was they broke the NDA themselves and stated that they were never kicked out of the scene, but rather they were never part of it. So that's the situation with Auntie Tyler. This is...
There's some more context. It seems like they decided to out... There's just so much going on here. It seems like now they decided to out her, possibly because they didn't like her take on Digital Princess, and then pissed them off, so they decided to do that. But then there's claims that she inserted herself into scenes when she shouldn't have inserted herself into scenes. It gets so complicated because, again, we're mixing sex and work, and it makes it very complicated. Obviously, if people don't want you to watch them, then you shouldn't be watching them. I'm sure there's multiple social pressures, but Jesus, the situation is just so complex.
All right, you guys.
Okay, I don't care.
That's an Origami Camp situation. Someone who's at Origami Camp reached out to me and wanted to talk, and also wanted me to update everybody on here and inform everybody on my page that someone was actually physically stayed at Origami Camp. These are the messages, and by the way, they said I can share these. So they said, "Hey there."
They don't want to reach out, probably know say about Origami and Tyler. I'm not comfortable saying who or the details on whether the Origami Camp was actually saved by Tyler, not just peeping or making other. Physically, I say Tyler crossed some of my boundaries. I'm so afraid to come with an experience. It's not drama in a sexual way. Okay, we don't really know what. So I need to know what those physical things are. I've already read it myself, so we need to know what that means. I'm sure Tyler crossed tons of boundaries. I'm personally too afraid to come with my experience. It's not just drama. It's actual sexual abuse. Look, what does that mean? This is why it gets so complicated when you mix sex and work. Honestly, I don't know the specifics. This Auntie Tyler person sounds like a bad person, though.